Galaxy S26 Ultra is expected to feature a new design and upgraded camera, yet it might be the hardest Samsung flagship to accept. Apple and Chinese brands are narrowing the gap with Samsung, and things may worsen further. Samsung insider phone art Universe Ice outlines some aspects of the Galaxy S26 Ultra, such as design and camera. Adding the potential Exynos chip adoption will hold off many fans from upgrading to this flagship phone. You may see a camera bump on the Galaxy S26 Ultra next year. The device is slated to adopt an island featuring the ultra-wide main and periscope sensors. The TOF, LED flash, and telephoto camera won't be a part of the bump. The bump's thickness could be 4.5 millimeters, which Samsung could utilize to upgrade the camera hardware. The recently launched Xiaomi 17 Pro Max has a bump of 4.75 millimeters and boasts a modern 50 megapixel camera with 5x optical zoom. Galaxy S26 Ultra, 1.52 f2.9, IMX854. Xiaomi 17 Pro Max, 1.95 is f2.6, GN8. The source believes that the S26 Ultra's camera bump is enough to feature a better zoom camera. Yet, Samsung is about to recycle the 5x periscope sensor it used in the Galaxy S25 Ultra, capping its camera capabilities. The ultra-wide camera Samsung will utilize in the Galaxy S26 Ultra occupies an excessive amount of space within the bump. However, the sensor is said not to offer the performance it should, based on the specifications. On the flip side, Xiaomi's flagship pursues a different approach to installing the ultra-wide camera within the body. It lets the device retain more space for other image sensors like the primary camera and periscope zoom camera. Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra will ship with a reshaped S Pen that will feel natural. The company's next Ultra flagship will have more rounded corners than the S25 Ultra, and the top shape of its stylus will adopt this design. Tipster Phone Art has just leaked a CAD view of the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra S Pen. It shows the top edge of the S Pen, which is no longer flat. Rather, it has become rounded on one side. The change is to match the rounded corners of the device. Simply put, the S Pen's top edge has a design that blends with the Galaxy S26 Ultra's body. The phone's corners have become more rounded, and Samsung couldn't have retained the same stylus design as previous models. It's a notable design change that was necessary to be made. The S Pen will not feel out of its place on the device frame. It will rest inside the body while retaining the smoother finish on the smartphone for a natural feel. Well, the latest leak has given us our first look at the S Pen of the upcoming device. It's a welcome change to keep the seamless design on the flagship. Hopefully, there will be no issues pulling out and inserting the stylus. Samsung dropped Bluetooth features from the S Pen of the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Early leaks suggested the Galaxy S26 Ultra will also lack a Bluetooth-powered S Pen. It's a move to drop the S Pen from its smartphone line eventually. The Korean tech giant is expected to launch the new flagships early next year. The lineup will include 3 models: Pro, Edge, and Ultra. The Galaxy S26 Ultra will introduce significant upgrades to its display and charging capabilities. We've been chasing more power, better cameras, longer battery life. But what about the form factor itself? What about how a phone feels in your hand? Today, we're diving deep into the first concrete leaks for the Samsung Galaxy S26 series. We're not talking about vague rumors. We're talking about specific model names and, most intriguingly, precise dimensions that suggest Samsung is launching a full-scale assault on thinness. This isn't just an incremental update. This is a potential paradigm shift. But can we trust these leaks? Who's behind them? And what does this ultra-thin future actually mean for you, the user? We're breaking it all down. Stick around because the future of the Galaxy S series is looking razor sharp. Before we get into the juicy details, let's establish our sources. In the world of tech leaks, not all information is created equal. We judge this based on a leaker's track record. Have their past reveals been accurate? Today, we're working with 2 sources. First, and our most trusted source for this leak, is at Universal C. This account has a solid reputation for providing accurate early information on Samsung prototypes and specifications. They've correctly called key details about previous Galaxy S and Z series phones months in advance, earning them a high degree of credibility within the leak community. When at Universal speaks, it's wise to listen. Let's dive into the first leak, which comes from our secondary source. This gives us our first look at the presumed model lineup for the S26 series: the S26 Pro, the S26 Edge, and the S26 Ultra. Now, this is fascinating. The Pro model makes a return, potentially replacing the standard base model. This could signal a shift where Samsung positions every phone in the S26 series as a premium flagship, with the Pro being the new entry point, but by no means a basic device. The Edge nomenclature is also interesting. Does this signify a return to a more pronounced curved screen, a design feature many fans have missed? And the Ultra remains the undisputed king of the lineup. But the real story isn't just the names, it's the numbers that came with them. This is where things get dramatic. According to the leak, the thickness of these devices is astonishing. The leak suggests a three-model lineup, Pro, Edge, Ultra, with a primary focus on reducing device thickness, positioning the S26 Edge as an exceptionally sleek device. What this means for you. The benefit is immediately tangible, an incredibly light and comfortable phone. Imagine a device that practically disappears in your pocket. The ergonomics would be a dream, especially for one-handed use. It would be a stylistic statement, a return to an era of elegance and portability that many feel we've lost in the pursuit of larger batteries and massive camera sensors. However, the drawback is the immediate question this raises. What's the trade-off? A thickness of 5.5 millimeters leaves very little room for a large battery. Are we looking at a compromise on battery life? Furthermore, such a thin chassis could present challenges for camera bump design. Would the cameras protrude even more significantly? There's also the question of structural integrity. Would a phone this thin be more susceptible to bending? Now, let's look at the second leak, which comes directly from our more trusted source, at Univercells. This isn't a new set of information, but rather a reposting and endorsement of the first leak. This act of corroboration is crucial in the world of leaks.